Before he was the smooth-talking Hollywood legend everyone knew, Burt Reynolds was just a kid from Lansing, Michigan. Burton Leon Reynolds, Jr., born on February 11, 1936, to Harriet Furnett and Burton Milo Reynolds, a police chief. Growing up in Riviera Beach, Florida, young Burt dreamed not of cameras and fame, but of football glory. He was a natural athlete, a star halfback at Florida State University, until a devastating knee injury ended his dreams of going pro. That heartbreak, however, would steer him toward a destiny he hadn't imagined: acting. Encouraged by a college teacher to explore the stage, Reynolds found a new calling, though his early days in Hollywood were anything but glamorous. He took on small TV roles in shows like Gunsmoke and Riverboat, slowly carving out a place for himself. It wasn't until the late 1960s and early 1970s that his breakthrough came, with Deliverance in 1972 proving he wasn't just another charming face. He was a serious actor with grit and depth. From there, the hits rolled in: The Longest Yard, Smokey and the Bandit, Hooper. Films that made him the face of American cool. With that iconic mustache, confident swagger, and mischievous grin defining an era of cinema. Reynolds wasn't just an action star, he was a symbol of charisma and authenticity. He made audiences laugh, cheer, and sometimes cry. But behind the fame came challenges: financial struggles, health problems, and career setbacks that tested his resilience. Even when Hollywood seemed to forget him, he always bounced back, proving his love for the craft never faded. His personal life mirrored his screen roles: passionate, unpredictable, and often turbulent. He married twice, first to English actress Judy Carne in 1963, a union full of youthful energy but short-lived, ending in divorce just 2 years later. His second marriage, to TV star Lonnie Anderson in 1988, was a media spectacle. Two glamorous stars at the height of fame. But their love story unraveled amid accusations, financial strain, and public feuding, ending in a bitter 1994 divorce. Despite the turmoil, both later expressed regret for how public the split became, and they ultimately found peace through their shared love for their adopted son, Quentin. In his later years, Reynolds finally opened up about something fans had long wondered about: his feelings toward fellow Hollywood icon Clint Walker. For decades, people compared the two: rugged, handsome, soft-spoken men who embodied the true cowboy spirit. Reynolds had mostly stayed quiet on the subject, but in one of his final interviews, he finally spoke from the heart. "In my early days," he recalled, "Clint Walker was already a legend. I remember watching him on Cheyenne and thinking, that's what a cowboy is supposed to look like." He admired Walker's calm strength and decency, qualities rare in Hollywood. "Clint wasn't just muscle and charm," Reynolds said. "He was one of the kindest men I ever met. He didn't play the Hollywood game. He stayed true to himself, and that's something I always respected." He laughed about how fans loved to ask who would win in a fight. "If Clint wanted to, he could have snapped me like a twig," Reynolds joked. But he wouldn't. That wasn't who he was. Though they never worked together, Reynolds cherished their friendship, describing Walker as the embodiment of quiet strength and old-school honor. "He was a man's man," he said, "but also a gentleman. I admired him more than I ever said. Maybe it's time people knew that." When Burt Reynolds passed away on September 6, 2018, at age 82, the world mourned not just the loss of an actor, but the end of a Hollywood era. He died in Jupiter, Florida, the peaceful town he loved, after years of battling heart problems. Even in his final days, he was optimistic, talking about future roles and projects, still hungry to create. His memorial, held privately on September 20th, was small and heartfelt, just as he wanted. His ex-wife Lonnie Anderson and their son Quentin oversaw the arrangements, choosing simplicity and sincerity over spectacle. Friends and family remembered his humor, warmth and generosity, sharing stories of a man who lit up every room and made everyone feel seen. As Quentin spoke lovingly about his father, many reflected on how Reynolds had lived with laughter, humility, and heart until the very end. Burt Reynolds was more than a movie star. He was a symbol of a time when Hollywood heroes had grit, charm, and soul. From football fields to film sets, from heartbreaks to box office triumphs, his journey was one of reinvention and resilience. And in his final words about Clint Walker, he summed up not just his admiration for a friend, but his own legacy, strength, decency, and the quiet confidence of a true cowboy who rode tall until the end.